Today I've got the Pestilence Reaper. No, it's not that one. It's the actual sick one. It's the Sickening Reaper because he's so sick. The better kind, the better variant. This is from Spirit Halloween 2013, which makes him 12 years old at the time of filming this video. I found him on Marketplace for $50, and he is, to my knowledge, fully complete. I brought one of my fog machines out as well, the big 1000 watters, because we are going to smoke him up. And I got one of the remotes. He's actually pretty old, so he doesn't even have like one of those triggers that would be for the fog machine, but we'll check him out. But let's check out what's in the box. Let me just bring you over here. Whoa, a little too close. There we go. So, to be honest with you, I kind of just threw everything back in here. So we got some clothing, freaky fabric, his hood, which looks a little sun faded, but I don't think it actually is. There's a bunch of old cobweb nests in there. That's kind of gross. What's next? We got, he's a very interesting setup. We'll check him out, but he's got this like base fabric piece, and then here's his main clothing right here. You've got part of his staff, his scythe. It's all plastic. And there's like these connectors that actually come off, I believe. Yeah, see, that comes off. So this is like a separate part. When you got them brand new, you got the actual scythe part itself. Very nice texture on it. Look at that. Very good. Another pole, the hand actually can come off. Here's the hand. One of his hands, actually. Arm, brackets. No foam on these arms. Here's his pointing hand. And the sensor's actually in here, and that looks to be an IR sensor, which is nice. This is 2013, so that's pretty cool. He has an opening. I thought that was a broken part, but it's actually not. That's just so they can get their hand in there to insert the sensor. These aren't the original instructions. I actually found them online, so I just copied them and made them. They're not really great, but we shouldn't really have to use them. He also has his tags still. Look at that. Always love finding these. You do not see them that often. People tend to throw them away. Got his mechanism, which is very complex looking, but it's just one motor and the control box in a white plastic. Usually it's black. Here is the man himself, the Reaper. It's like a thinner plastic, actually. It looks like he's missing a Velcro strap right here. He's got a bunch of these poles here, whole bunch of them. He's got his, this is like a lighting thing. There's some lights strapped in here, so that's added lighting for him. He lights up green. Looks very good in a swamp. Adapter and the base is the last thing. So that's everything that's in there. Quite a lot, I must say. Okay, so I did my research for today. The first thing you actually do with this one is not put the base on the ground. In actuality, he comes with this bottom piece of fabric. It's lawn fabric. And you're supposed to put this out first, okay? And get it all out there, make sure it looks nice, and then we put the base inside of this piece of fabric. And this has basically what I'm understanding it as to keep the fog in its place, basically. So once that's done, you're gonna take some of your support poles. They're labeled alphabetically, so he also has this like support stanchion here. So how we do this is these have like some forks in them, and what we got to do is line it up like so. It's a little counterintuitive because it goes in from the bottom, but you get those lined up and you should be able to just snap lock those in place. So now he's got a much more stable bottom, and then you just do this again for all the remaining poles. Very basic, actually. So like I said, $50 for this thing, which was a great price, I think. And I'm definitely going to use him in the swamp display this year. I like the green LEDs. He wasn't really something I was looking for, but I couldn't really pass up the deal. He actually seems to be quite tall. Next up, we're going to take his main module here. And it's such a very different design than the normal stuff. You know, usually the mechanism is down here and stuff, but it's all up here. This is Seasonal Visions. I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure this is SVI. But that is how that works. It's a little strange, but this is how it was done 12 years ago. Ooh, hold on. Actually, I'm going to take this off first. I'm going to put the clothing on before I put this bracket on. That's what the instructions say. So I got the clothing on it, I think. This is like that cheap lawn fabric. I'm under the impression that this actually can deteriorate, which kind of sucks. But it doesn't look like it has yet. But that's on there now, and now we can put on the main mechanism here. Well, actually, let's not do that just yet. Let's not do that just yet. Next is this bracket here, and this is where it gets a little confusing with the forks facing inwards, I think. And then, I don't know if this is right, guys. Hold on. Let's see here. This is what happens when there's old instructions and you don't know. I was right the first time. I was. Can't tell by the image, but this is actually like a back thing. It's for the back to give it some shape. Like that. There we go. Now we can finally put on this piece. Finally. Jeez. Mount this into place. Now the head's pretty cool. Let me see if I can get a close-up for you guys. So you can see that head here. It looks very decrepit. I love the paint job on it. And it's plastic. It's not latex. You got a crack right there. So the fog machine goes inside and it will seep out through all of these openings of that felt. It's see-through. You can see that. It does also have the modern plugins. This is 2013, which is nice. And this gets mounted. And you got plugs. It's like a double plug. I guess now would be a good time to run his adapter plug. It's only a 6-volt 1-amp adapter. And unfortunately, it's a really short cord, so you're gonna definitely need an extension cord if you have this guy anywhere other than right next to a wall outlet. And just for convenience, a try-mute button, because why not? This is the 21st century. So let's do his pointing arm first. So I'm just gonna run this up through his sleeve. If you can see that, that's his sensor right there. Hidden, really well hidden. So this gets locked in like so. Let's move on to the other arm. So how this one works is you have the arm with the pole, and then you've got parts labeled many parts. So I think it just goes in like that. This is just like cheap plastic, unfortunately. There we go. Okay, what's that about? So I got the scythe on. I don't really like it because it's very thin plastic and it looks like it's got a bend in it over all the years, and there's no like thing in the base for it to like mount to. So it's really just flimsy. I guess if you're out in the grass, it'll be easier. We need to put the hood on next, but I noticed that my Velcro has come off right here. So I'm gonna take the hot glue gun, plug it in, wait for it to heat up, and I'll get back to you. So are you from around here? Not really the talkative type, aren't you? Alright, looks like it's ready to go. Dab a little bit on there. Bop. Done. I took off the scythe because the thing was just frailing and falling everywhere. But now I'm going to zip up the back of his clothing here. He's got a bunch of Velcro. I was like, wait a minute, that didn't look right. He had like a huge waist for a minute. I was like, that don't seem right, man. There we go. Okay. That looks a lot more normal, I would say. Okay, so finally we can put the hood on. This thing has got to be one of the more complex, like, just animatronics in terms of their clothing, because it's just so random and the instructions are really unclear. I don't know. There's like Velcro here. I don't know where that goes even. Oh, that's actually funny looking. He's got cobwebs all over him, man. He looks like Little Red Riding Hood now. He looks like someone's grandma. So he came with a bunch of fabric on him, and some of it was just in the box. I don't know how much originally came with him and stuff, but I put it all on there because I think the more the better, if I'm being honest with you. He also has these two long strands of fabric, and what I am under the impression these are for his staff. It says on the instructions, scythe fabric. He also has one that says sash. So I tied one around his hip, waist here. So that's for that one. So now I actually took off the staff because it kept frailing everywhere. So we're gonna put that back on. Hopefully it doesn't do what it was doing before. Make sure all the connections are really tight on it. But you can see that's that's standing pretty straight up, but one of these poles looks like it's kind of bent, unfortunately. There's like electrical tape on this one, and I'm wondering why. Is there like a crack in the plastic? Oh yeah, it looks like there might have been, maybe not. I don't know why that's on there in the first place. Now we shove this through a third time. I'm gonna try to bend the arm actually, because it seems like that might be the problem. In and of itself, the arm might be out of whack. And this can slide down a little more. That might actually have fixed my problem here. So now, will it stay? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. You can't even see that. There. That looks a lot better. And the last thing to do is to just take this fabric, and I think I'm going to shove a little piece of it up in there so that it stays. That still works. So then we can just wrap this around like a merry-go-round. All right, there we go. I got the scythe all robed up. Looks pretty good. I think that's how they want it. I don't really know. The instructions are unclear. Instructions unclear, whatever they say. Now, all you got to do is tie up that area. There's Velcro down there, so you Velcro that up to hide the base, and you stick the fog machine down in there. So that's what I'm going to do next. So I got the fog machine hidden under here. This is what it says to do, so that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully the house doesn't burn down. I might just get a fire extinguisher just in case. But then we just Velcro up all of this Velcro. All right, so it's all set up. I got the fog machine in there. It's warming up. Fire extinguisher just in case, because I'm not too sure how that hot fog machine is going to be on this very thin yard fabric. I don't want it to like melt or anything, so just in case. All right, so let's try them out. Let's see him again. So I got his button here, and then some fog. You can see that he's really fogging up. I got the 1000 watt in there. You could probably get away with just a 400 watt smaller one. So one thing I noticed is, interestingly enough, on the box here, it says Sickening Reaper fog machine connecting hose. But then when you look at the instruction sheet, it doesn't show anything about a connection hose for the fog machine. And actually right here, it just shows the fog machine just being shoved under the Reaper, which is kind of strange to me, but that's what it is. So I don't know what that's all about. Did it come with one or not? But what I don't like is that when you press the fog machine, it just comes out right there. And slowly it like makes its way up, but a lot of it just comes out right here, which is like strange to me. I don't know what I think about that, but that is just how it is. You can see it slowly starts to meander around out here, which is pretty cool. Let's go and turn off all the lights and see how he works with his lighting, because he's got the green lights. He's pretty cool though. I really do enjoy him a lot more than I would have expected. But let's jump to that right now.
You shall know me for the billowing cloud of flame in my wake. For I have pestilence incarnate. Approach and seal your doom. Smell the stench of death wrapping around you. I will pull you tightly into my embrace.
So there is the Sickening Reaper. Honestly, I do like him a lot more than I have in the past. He's kind of a forgettable one, if I'm being honest with you, but his setup is so interesting and different from anything we see nowadays, and I really like that base keeps all the fog inside of him. And just to show you, like, it keeps it all inside, and it just comes up slowly, and I really enjoy that. I definitely am looking forward to using him in the swamp because of his green lights and stuff. You just see it's so cool. Yeah, just really enjoy it. I'm looking forward to using it. And if you guys can find one for a good price, definitely jump on it because I really enjoy this thing. But that is all from me today. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this little video on the Sickening Reaper, and I will see you all in the next one.